Alright, well, we're off to get some more water. Usually we fill up every week or week and a half, maybe 2 weeks sometimes. The 15 gallons lasts us a good and long time. But today I wanted to talk about my New Year's resolutions. I wrote a couple out in my notebook for this year, and I wanted to talk about them, see what you guys think. You can comment down below what your New Year's resolutions are, but after you listen to mine, or before you listen to mine, whichever one you want to do. So my New Year's resolutions that I have so far are journal every day, read the Bible every day, and paint once a week. Watercolor paintings. So with these in mind, I will expand on them a little bit. But I've been off and on journaling for quite a few years now. But I end up journaling more in times of distress or in times that I am dealing with something mental health related or family related, or I'm just like dealing with something that I need to think about or I need to write about. But I don't end up journaling in between those times. And I like to journal my daily life, what we did during the day, like as a family, what I did at work, things like that, because I love to look back and remember those days, and have fond memories of each day that I journal about. Whether it's something that my daughter did that was just adorable, or a new milestone of learning for her, or an accomplishment that I achieved in some category of my life that I like to look back on and reflect on. And I don't journal enough to have those times to look back on, and it makes me sad because I know there's many memories that I have forgotten just because of how time works, and my mind forgets easily these memories. So I want to make it a priority this year as we go into the new year to journal every day. And I want to journal what life was like that day, what fun things we did, whether that was just, making a new food, or going to a new park, or just hanging out at the house and having silly memories from hanging out at the house. Living with a 2-year-old every day is a new adventure. It's fun to look back at those memories. So that's one thing I want to prioritize this year, is journaling every day. Now, I'm not going to force myself. No, I am going to force myself. I think I'm going to force myself to write every day because I want to have completed notebooks from 2026 that say started on January 1st, 2026, ended on, whatever day that I filled that notebook up. And I just want to be able to look back for the entire year. I want to just flip to a random day and I can see what we did and how fun it was, and just the little memories like that, and the silly things that my daughter says to me, and the profound things that my daughter says to me for a 2-year-old, just that kind of stuff. I just want to be able to look back and reflect on that, and I want to make it a stable habit where I am, not only am I looking forward to doing it every day, to memory keep like that, and I want to be excited for the future of journaling and memory keeping and being able to look back and have those memories. And one of the things that I just picture in my mind is my daughter, you know, being like a 8 or a 10-year-old, and she says, "Dad, what did we do in the year 2026?" And I'm gonna say, "Well, hold on, let me go get my journals." And then I go get my archived journals, and we get to flip through and read all those memories, the silly memories, the fun memories, and the adorable memories together. And she has that, and that eventually I'll pass that down to her as something that she can keep as she gets older. And then hopefully I'm passing on this habit to her of memory keeping and journaling as something that is good, and not just have to do that while you're in distress, but to do it on days that are great days, that you get to journal on great days and normal days and mediocre days, that you can journal on those days. And it's okay to sit down and write your thoughts of the day and what happened, and just be excited for that. I'm really excited to pass that down to her as a habit. And I have this image in my head of her having fond memories of Dada writing in his journal about our day. And as she gets older, I can ask her what she did that day, and I can write little sections of what did she do, and from her perspective. So that really excites me, is hearing her perspective once she gets a little older. And I mean, I honestly could start doing it now as she's 2 years old, because her vocabulary blows me away every single day. She just continues to learn and grow, and I can see her own little personality just blooming. And now that she's old enough to form full sentences, and she talks to us like normal, that I can ask her these questions like, "What did you do today?" And then she can tell me, and then I can ask her, "What was your favorite part of the day?" And that's one thing we've been working on, is like what her favorite thing is. We've been asking her like what her favorite animal is, and she goes, "Tigers, lions, monkeys." She just starts naming all the animals that we see at the zoo. But recently it's been tigers is her favorite thing, her favorite animal. But then she switched to lions the other day. I don't know. She's got many favorites, I guess. But that's one thing I want her to like understand, is what your favorite thing is in a day, or your fondest memory. Now that takes a little bit more explaining and more vocabulary understanding to get to what your fondest memory is. So maybe asking her a simple question of what your favorite memory is, and she will be able to, or what was your favorite thing to do today is, and then she can expand on that. So my next New Year's resolution is reading the Bible every day. And this resolution, I'm more excited about this year, just because a couple of years ago I used to read the Bible every day, and it was just something that I looked forward to, and something that was more of a staple in my life. And I want to make it a staple again in my life. I've been reading the New Testament in a 30-day format, where I have like a reading plan that breaks up the New Testament in 30 days. And my wife and I decided that we're gonna start that together on January 1st, so we started that yesterday. And we're reading that together for the first month of the year for January, which is gonna be fun. And after that, I'm thinking about just continuing that read through. Maybe doing that for the entire year is just the 30-day read through for the year, just as like a deeper study in time. I think it's a good read through and a good study for the New Testament, and I've read the Old Testament and studied the Old Testament. I feel like I've studied the Old Testament a lot more in my life than the New Testament, and it's something that there's lessons to be learned in all of it, but in the New Testament I haven't deeply studied just like the mission of the New Testament, the Gospels, and just like understanding. I'm not sure exactly how my read through my reading every day will look, whether that's based off of a devotional and then I do a deep study on what verses they mention in the devotional, or if it's just the New Testament in 30 days that I do for the entire year. That would be really cool to do a study of that for every day of the year, and at the end of the year do like a wrap-up video of like what I've learned and what I've gained from that kind of experience. I think that would be really fun. And then my third resolution is watercolor painting once a week, minimum once a week, so that I can practice my skills. That's 52 weeks, that's 52 paintings at least, and I can paint more than that if I want to. But I've got small watercolor notebooks and in my traveler's notebooks, and I have like a travel watercolor set and some watercolor brushes, and I think that it would be really fun to just practice that and get better at that, have a different skill that I can say that I have is like watercolor painting. I've really enjoyed watercolor painting for the few paintings that I have done, and I think that it would be a really fun thing to look back on the year at the end of the year and show all of my watercolor paintings, maybe in a video. I think that would be really fun to do that. And I've also started like a journal where I write about the watercolor painting, or at least I write about what inspired me or what was the thought process behind the painting. And I think that would be really fun to go over those journal entries in a video, so that you guys can just get a glimpse as to like my thought process. You know, whether I painted a tree that I really liked, or painted my coffee cup, which I have painted my coffee cup already once, and I think that I would really like to do that again. I think it would be really fun to do the same coffee cup. Now that I know a lot more about color theory and mixing paints and making colors, painting the same coffee cup would be really fun, just to see how my knowledge has changed. We gotta try some of this. Green Dragon. We'll get 2 of the sugar-free ones, see if they taste good. Wanted to pick up a couple of teas. A couple more teas from the last episode of water. I enjoy drinking these, the diet teas. And they're only 68 cents here at Winco. What I was saying was about color theory. I watched a video, and if you're interested, I'll link it below in the description. I watched a video, I don't remember the name of the YouTuber, but she is very popular. She's put out a ton of amazing videos on color theory and watercolor painting and all sorts of stuff. And I watched her video and it just blew my mind on painting different colors and like combining different colors, and just blew my mind. So I'll link that below, but it was such a good video and just opened up a whole new world to me of combining colors for painting. And I'm really excited to continue painting now with that knowledge. And I'll refer back to that video many times, I know I will, as I continue painting. Watercolor painting is also really interesting to me. Just like as a medium, it's for creativity. The things that you can do with watercolor painting, just by the nature of it, you can be so creative with it. And I hope to just gain creative skill as I continue painting with it, with the paints that I do have. And I've added a couple of paints to my wish list that I can, purchase, later on in the year. But I think I have the paints that I need for now in my little travel kit. And I'll link all of the stuff that I use for you guys. If that's interesting to you, you can take a look at it. I will see about getting affiliate links if you guys want to help support me using the affiliate links if you want to buy stuff. But I'm not sure how that works, so I'll do some more research before I post this video to see if I can get some affiliate links for some stuff on Amazon. Because most of my stuff I bought off of Amazon, just because it's easy and we have an Amazon subscription. So I'm also thinking about setting up like a buy me a coffee, just because I know some people want to support creators directly, or just like I'll set up like a PayPal or a Venmo or something like that if you guys want to support me directly. And eventually, once I get monetized, I can create YouTube memberships. And you can always super chat on the video, or super thanks, or whatever it's called, to directly support me, which would help greatly in our tight budget living in Southern California. But it's not needed, and it's not required at all. You guys can watch my videos for free, subscribe, and like the videos, and that's enough support for me. Absolutely enough support for me is just liking and subscribing the video and commenting. That way I know you're actually watching my videos and I'm not getting ghost views from India or wherever. Now, if you are from India, thank you for watching my video. Also leave a like and comment. But to get back to my point, those are my New Year's resolutions. You guys tell me what yours are. Tell me what you think about mine. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm silly? Do you think they're good? Hopefully you think they're good. I think they're good. Oh, and one point I guess I'll say before I end the video is at the end of 2025, as of, January 1st, I've officially completed my first New Year's resolution. And that was to not buy any pens for 2025. I've bought so many pens, so many different pens, and in 2024 I just bought a couple of pens. I bought quite a few, and in the beginning of 2025 I just said it out loud in front of the family. I was like, you know what, for 2025 I think my New Year's resolution is I'm not going to purchase any pens. And man, that proved to be much more difficult than I thought it would be, because there were so many good sales in 2025 on certain pens that I had to miss out on because of my New Year's resolution. But I followed through with it, And on January 1st at like 12:23 a.m., I bought a pen that I have been thinking about and wanting for years. And once I get that in the mail, I'll do a video about the pen, and I'll do a video about my notebook and what I use, so that you guys can just see my setup, and or my notebooks, I guess, my multiple notebooks, so you guys can see my setup and just see what I include in my, you know, my daily journaling and creativity and stuff like that. But I'm really proud of myself for actually following through with that. And if you're someone with a love for stationery, you will completely understand how difficult that challenge was for me, just because of the nature of our love for stationery. Not buying any pens. Oh, it was so tough. But now that I've bought this one pen, I had the idea, and I brought it up to my wife, that maybe my New Year's resolution for 2026 with stationery in mind is to only purchase one pen, and from there, all I can buy this year is like inks. Now, I'm not gonna go off the deep end like some creators who have hundreds of inks collected together for their fountain pens. All I've been thinking about is a couple of different inks for my fountain pens. Just because I've been doing watercolor painting, I've been using my fountain pen with the carbon black ink. I'll link that down in the description too, on Amazon. But it's a waterproof ink, and I use that to do my drawing, and then I water paint over that drawing. And I want to get more colors in waterproof ink, just so that I can do a variety of different colors for the watercolors. I've been thinking about doing like monocolor paintings, so like one single color or one single color and shade of that color. Just a thought that I was having. But so that's my New Year's resolution video. What do you guys think? What are your New Year's resolutions? Comment below and include this community in your New Year's resolutions to keep you accountable, I guess. And we can always like your comments and bring you back to those New Year's resolutions, and we can keep each other accountable. You guys can come back to this video and comment at the end of the year and be like, did you follow through with it? If I haven't already posted a video, which I'm thinking that I'll probably post a video at the end of the year, and with my New Year's resolutions kind of wrapped up, which is exciting to me. So thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And we're on the road to getting monetized and bringing a little bit of more money into our family's life, which will make our lives a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.